Hey, welcome. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the fashion industry and really look at the story behind the clothes we wear every day. We're going to explore this massive global system that, puts shirts on our backs, and then we'll dive into the super exciting movement that's trying to redesign the entire future of fashion. So yeah, let's get right into it.
But first, let me ask you something. Just take a look at what you're wearing right now. What's the real cost of it? And I'm not just talking about the price tag. I mean, what are the hidden costs to our planet, to the people who actually made it, and even to our own, overstuffed closets? It's a much, much bigger question than you might think.
So, to really wrap our heads around the scale we're talking about, just look at this number. 30 million tons. That is the estimated amount of textiles produced globally every single year. To put that in perspective, that's enough to make over 300 t-shirts for every single person in the United States. This isn't just a big industry, it's absolutely colossal, and it has a footprint to match.
And our appetite for new stuff, it's only getting bigger. Take the UK, for example. Between 2001 and 2005, that's just 4 years. The amount of clothes people bought shot up by 37%. That is a crazy acceleration in how much we consume in a really short amount of time.
Okay, so what happens to all these clothes we're buying? Well, for the average American, about 31 kilograms, that's almost 70 pounds of textiles, get thrown out each year. But here's the really staggering part. About 85% of that ends up in a landfill. We are creating a literal mountain of waste, year after year after year.
So, how did we even get here? How did we fall into this cycle of just buying more, wearing it less, and then just tossing it? Well, this wasn't an accident. It's the result of a very specific system. Let's break down how our closets got so ridiculously full and so wasteful. Okay, so you really have to understand the system's impact. First off, the textile industry is incredibly thirsty. It uses more water than any other industry out there except for agriculture. Then there's the fact that manufacturing has all moved to low-cost countries, which means these long, complicated supply chains. And of course, those super low prices, they encourage us to make impulse buys and basically treat our clothes like they're disposable. And get this, an estimated 5 to 10% of all new clothes never even get sold. They go straight from the factory to the landfill. Once they're there, a lot of these fabrics don't decompose and can even release toxic chemicals. And even when we think we're doing good, like donating old clothes, that can sometimes overwhelm local economies in developing nations. It's a lot.
But look, it does not have to be this way. Faced with all these challenges, a whole new way of thinking is starting to take hold. It's a pretty fundamental shift in philosophy, really, moving away from that fast, throwaway model and toward a future that actually values our clothing, our planet, and the people who make what we wear.
And at the very heart of this new philosophy is this idea called the triple bottom line. It's actually a pretty simple but really powerful concept. It says that for a business to be truly sustainable, it can't just be about profit. Nope. It has to balance its financial goals with its social and environmental responsibilities. It's all about finding that harmony between people, the planet, and profit.
And this quote from Kirsi Niinamaki just nails it. It says, "Sustainable fashion is a creative process where design, quality, value, collaboration, and networks form the core, not fashionable appearance and cheap prices. It's not about sacrificing style. It's about totally redefining what we consider valuable in the first place." Okay, so that all sounds great in theory, right? But what does it actually look like when you put it into practice? Let's dive into some of the incredible innovations that are happening right now and see how designers are literally weaving these ideas into a better model for fashion. You can really see two completely different worlds laid out right here. On one side, you've got the fast fashion model, global, trend-driven, all about quantity. But on the other, inspired by amazing designers like Anaru Ohonen, you have the slow fashion model. This is all about small-scale, local production, timeless and durable design, quality over quantity, a transparent supply chain, and maybe most importantly, creating clothes we actually want to keep and form a bond with. Let's look at a real-world example. There's this Finnish menswear brand called Friend, and they are living these principles. They make this incredible, high-quality workwear, and they focus on a perfect fit and materials that actually look better as they age. They make everything locally using certified safe fabrics. That Okotex 100 certification means they've been tested and are free from harmful stuff. They even have the signature orange thread on their buttons, just a little signal that says, hey, this is quality, this is worth holding on to. Their whole goal is to make you so satisfied with their clothes that you want to wear them for years, not just for one season.
Innovation isn't just about the business side of things, it's in the actual craft of making clothes. So here's a problem you've probably never even thought about. In traditional production, when you cut out the pieces for a shirt from a big roll of fabric, about 15% of that fabric just gets left behind as scraps. It's waste that's created before a single stitch has been sewn.
So what's the solution? Well, it's as brilliant as it is simple. Zero waste pattern cutting. Instead of designing a garment and then trying to figure out how to cut it out, designers build the pattern making right into the creative process from the very beginning. The goal is straightforward. Use 100% of the fabric and leave absolutely nothing behind.
And this is not a limitation. It's actually a super cool creative challenge. Designers use these fascinating techniques to pull it off. It's kind of like a game of Tetris, using interlocking geometric shapes in a method they call geocut, or these more fluid approaches that blend cutting and draping. It literally turns waste elimination into an art form.
Of course, what a garment is made of is just as important as how it's made. This chart from an organization called Made By is an amazing tool that classifies materials based on their environmental impact. Up top, in Class A, you've got your best choices, things like recycled cotton and organic hemp. But way down at the bottom, in Class E, you find the highest impact materials, like conventional cotton, which uses a ton of water and pesticides, and virgin nylon. You'll also see Tencel listed as a great low-impact option. That's a cool fabric made from wood pulp. This stuff helps designers and us make much smarter choices.
So after going through the problems and all these incredible solutions, the conversation, well, it really comes back to us. It comes back to our own closets. The future of fashion really requires us to rethink our personal relationship with the things we choose to put on our bodies every single day.
So what can we actually do? Well, our actions really matter. We can choose to buy fewer things, but make them more meaningful. We can invest in quality and durability, instead of something that's just disposable. We can learn to take care of our clothes, maybe even repair them, to make them last longer. Even super simple stuff, like washing less and just airing clothes out, makes a real difference. It's all about shifting our mindset to value that emotional connection we have with a favorite jacket over the quick thrill of some fleeting trend.
I want to leave you with one final thought to chew on. Just imagine, for a second, if every piece of clothing in your wardrobe could tell you its story. Where its materials came from, who made it, the whole journey it took to get to you. If you knew that entire story, would you still choose to wear it?